Welcome to TechMark Pod, where we innovate, discuss, and discover the dynamic intersection of technology and marketing. In each episode, we explore how businesses can leverage both to drive growth and innovation. Meet Alvin, our esteemed host for TechMark Pod. With over 15 years of experience as a renowned marketer, project manager, and software as a service architect, join us as we uncover the unique value proposition of integrating technology and marketing strategies, helping you stay ahead in this fast-paced digital world.
Hi everyone, welcome to TechMark Pod. Today I'm joined by Larreth Jimu. Larreth is the founder of Melsoft. Melsoft is an Edutech platform, right, Larreth?
Yep, correct.
Cool. Larreth, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Alvin. I've been looking forward to this for quite some time now, and I love the work that you're doing in the podcast space. You're inspiring me to get back on it because I haven't released in a while. So
Please.
Thank you for the work that you're doing.
Please deserve some round of applause. No, thank you very much. I think you need to come back to podcasting. I think it's one of the best decisions that I've ever made in the past year or so. So, yeah. When are you releasing the new episode? I'm putting you on the spot.
Soon. Nah, definitely. I was with my mom, and my mom follows me quite closely, and she was like, "You haven't released an episode in like a month now." So yeah, no, I need to fix that.
Isn't like, are you okay?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. So you see, the thing what happened was we wanted to focus on sales, and podcasting is great, right? Like you build a brand, you build a great network. But it's a little bit slow in sales. So
Definitely.
we put full focus on TikToks, because TikToks is, you make a video today, you're getting paid tomorrow. So that's where our focus has been.
That's amazing stuff. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I hear you very well. Okay, cool. So Larreth, we're gonna start from the beginning. Who is Larreth Jimu?
Sure, that's a tough question. Okay, my identity, Larreth Jimu is a son of God. Larreth Jimu is a child of the Lord Jesus Christ, and he has been put onto this earth to save Africa. Because my goodness, I love my home, I love my country, I love my people, but there are just so many problems that you'll see when you go across the continent. And yeah, the biggest problem right now is the quality of our education in Africa. And yeah, I've been put on this earth to make us competitive. So I hope that's a good enough intro.
Yes, sir. We agree with you very much. That's very true. I agree with you 100%. I accept that you're a child of God, and what you're talking, I mean, it's our lived reality. You know what I mean? So if we are there to help Africa, I mean, it really resonates with all of us. You know what I mean? I believe that we should have software or solutions for Africans by Africans. You know, so yeah, we are together in this, brother. So tell me more about how you started in entrepreneurship. I understand that you are a graduate of supply chain and you ended up in Edutech. How is that even possible? Someone will even ask, how is that even possible? What do you know about software? What do you know about marketing? So take me through your journey on entrepreneurship. Where did you start?
Okay, so I've always been an entrepreneur since I was in high school, actually. That's where I started. I used to make magazines. I went to Churchill Boys High School in Harare. I would make these magazines and make them very controversial, talk about girls from other schools and stuff, and then I would sell them to the students at school. So that's when I really started learning how to build a product, how to market, how to sell, how to handle pressure when people are coming to you with the results of your product and stuff like that. Then after that, I did my 4 years in supply chain management, which at the time I was like, oh man, I hate what I'm studying. I can't believe I'm wasting my time doing this. But now with this new venture that I've started, I'm like, oh God, so you had a plan all along. So I did that. I finished it. And then I started teaching myself how to code. But teaching yourself how to code is not easy because you need to be very disciplined. You need to show up all the time. So I enrolled in a boot camp. And in that boot camp, I was still being an entrepreneur. I was building websites for clients and that sort of thing. And the bootcamp hired me actually 4 months after I had started the program. Before I was even done, they hired me to become a teacher because whilst I was learning, not only was I practicing by serving clients, I was also mentoring other students. I'll go out with my friends and show them how to fix things that were broken with their code and stuff like that. So again, the roots of Melsoft Academy were being planted. Then after that short stint at that school, I went full time into my business because I just saw that it won't grow if I'm working on it part time. So I had to move back to my parents' house to start on the business again. And then the business kept growing until we got to the point where we had a lot of clients and not enough engineers. So I started a course. We made a course that if someone could take it, they could, come and work for us because we just needed engineers. And then when we put that out as an ad on Google, we got 100 applications in the first day. So we said, okay, clearly there's a big need. And the more we started doing research, we found out that Africa has so many resources. We have so much gold, we have so much cobalt, we have so much chrome, we have so many diamonds. But our biggest asset are our people. We have the youngest population. By 2030, we'll have, I think, half of the workforce in the world will be from Africa. But the education system, the standards are so bad that many young Africans are unemployed. We can see South Africa, 60% youth unemployment. So we decided to just go all in on solving the unemployment problem in Africa. And it's been 2.5 years now. And I would say it's going pretty well. We're definitely not where we want to be, but we are on the right track for sure.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. So Melsoft, was it established from Zim side or you established here in South Africa?
It started off in Zim in final year of uni. So initially it wasn't a software company. It was CV design business because everyone around me was looking for a job in final year. You know how it is when you're about to finish.
Yeah.
And everyone had these Word CVs and they were Word CVs. They were not looking good at all. So I'll take them, put them on Canva, make them look nice, and then give it to them for $5. And people started talking about it and it grew. It just kept growing and growing and growing. And I was known as the designer. And I wasn't even studying design at school. But then, yeah, that's how it started.
So where do you get your inspiration from? Because if you started being in business at a young age, surely there is some inspiration from somewhere?
Yeah, there is inspiration. So one of my biggest inspiration is my mother.
Mm.
My mother raised me and my brother as a single mom. And she put us through school. She put us both through university as an entrepreneur.
Oh,
A black female entrepreneur in Harare. You can only imagine how difficult that is.
I know.
And I would see her every day, wake up at 5:00, get us ready for school, send us to school, and then work on her business the whole day. For me, I've never seen anything else besides hard work, dedication, determination, and just, doing the work. So yeah, my mom is my biggest inspiration.
No, that's amazing. That's definitely she deserves a clap of hands. Wow. Okay, so Melsoft, when you then established it in South Africa, right? And your courses, I just want to understand your courses that you offered. Are they accredited courses or are they courses that you guys came up with? How does it work?
So they are accredited, but initially what we did was we surveyed the big businesses in South Africa, the skills that they needed, and then we created programs that match what the companies needed.
Mm.
And then the students themselves would say, we want something that's accredited. We want something that's accredited. I mean, YC 101, you talk to your customers, right? They wanted something accredited. But the accredited material and what the employers wanted were just worlds apart. So we had to take both and then create something that's unique, that, okay, you get your accredited certificate, but then you also get the skills that will get you employed. So that's how our programs work.
Okay, cool. So in building Melsoft, it's a platform, right? So you are self-taught developer. I'm just gonna get into the tech of it. Which languages did you self-taught yourself?
Okay, so I wouldn't say self-taught. I don't believe in anyone is self-taught because,
Yeah.
when you're watching a YouTube video, someone's teaching you. So
You are self-taught, yeah,
I would say,
definitely.
okay, I would say JavaScript, React, Node, and Python. Those were my go-to languages. And then I also worked really hard on no code, WordPress, Webflow, those two, because I could spin up something and sell it to a client in 2 days. Yeah, that's my tech stack.
Basically. Okay. So I understand where you're coming from. I'm self-taught WordPress developer. You understand? So I think WordPress I think WordPress has made me who I am today. Almost 50% of my life has been on WordPress, basically. So it's some things that maybe unemployed youth would want to learn to understand that. I mean, WordPress owns over 45% of the world's websites, basically, market, right? So if you then self-taught yourself on no code or WordPress or whichever way, any other software that you can easily build websites, you can easily come up with a small company that does web design.
Yep. That's so true. And I think the way you explained it is very simple and very straightforward, that someone who's inspired and determined enough should just listen to that and start taking action, because there's really the barrier to entry to being an entrepreneur or to just put food on the table has never been lower in this age. You could literally watch a WordPress course for 5 hours today and start looking for clients tomorrow, you know?
I want to ask you a question. At what age did you start Melsoft?
I was 22 years old when I started Melsoft.
And I remember, I think a couple of months ago, you appointed a CEO for Melsoft.
Yeah. Oh, we did appoint a CEO. So the reasoning behind that was I wanted to focus more on the growth of the business and not necessarily work in it. So I looked for someone with experience that could cover the gaps that I didn't have. But unfortunately, it didn't work out. He's a great guy, though. He's an amazing guy, and I would always vouch for him in whatever he does. But unfortunately, I think the timing was just not right. So I had to come back to take back the role as the head of Melsoft again, and it's been amazing.
How do students join Melsoft? Where do they find the courses, or where do they read more about you? Do they physically come to Melsoft campus, or everything is online? How does it work?
So typically, students find us online through TikTok, YouTube, LinkedIn, you name it, and then they send in an application. And our key requirements is that you need to have at least an NQF level 4. You need to have a matric certificate, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if they apply, we accept them. They get in. They can take the programs online from wherever they are. I would say 80% of our student base, we've never met them in person. So they take it online. However, we do have what we call campus days, weeklies, where we bring in the students. We give lectures, we give talks, we shoot some videos in person once a week on Fridays in Rosebank. We are working on making that a more permanent fixture, because we've seen that when the students are actually together, they start to bond and they start to build strong relationships with one another that could serve them later on in their careers. So yeah, you can take it online. But if you can come to Joburg, I would highly recommend you come to Joburg.
Great. So another question in terms of Edutech, the business strategy, is it a startup? Were you guys funded to build Melsoft, or you bootstrapped Melsoft?
We are fully bootstrapped. Fully bootstrapped. I don't know if that's a good thing, because I've been wearing it like a badge of honor for some time now.
Yeah.
Until one of my mentors was like, maybe you shouldn't stay bootstrapped. But we've been fully bootstrapped. We run the business entirely based on its revenues, and we have the freedom to grow, without someone else breathing down our necks. But we would love to explore the idea of someone coming in, equity, debt, capital, that sort of thing. We would like to entertain the idea, but right now we're bootstrapped, we're nimble, every cent counts, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think being bootstrapped has got its it's advantages, because you have got the freedom to do whatever you want with your brand, basically. Because sometimes when you get investors, it almost sounds as if like you're employed, you're back to employment. You know what I mean? So you started Melsoft at 22. So right now it's how old are you now?
29 now.
29. And Melsoft is almost like well established with a campus. And how many students do you have at the moment, if you don't mind?
Currently, we've got 120 active students.
That's amazing. For the college that is bootstrapped, and you're doing amazing work. That's really amazing, and you deserve to be recognized. If there is some kind of funding from, of course, from no strings attached, I should say, no strings attached, then it would really, really work for you guys. On Melsoft, I understand that. Okay, so I should assume that Melsoft is stable now, because you are there, hands on, and everything is working on Melsoft. About a few months ago, you have pivoted to a new. You didn't pivot, but you started a new business.
Yeah, Melsoft is stable. It's definitely at the point where it can run successfully without me having to be there hours a day. And that led me to start the new business that I'm working on now with some of my partners, which I'm very excited about. And it's actually the first time I'm mentioning it on a public platform.
Yeah. So before you mention that business, I want to ask, what does marketing means to you? That's a question from. I just want to know, what does marketing means to you? Because the success of Melsoft, it's very successful brand, but what does marketing mean to you?
Marketing is everything. Marketing is everything. I mean, you can have the best product ever that cures cancer, but if no one knows about it, you're not going to make any money. So marketing is absolutely everything. I studied marketing from the greats. I went to David Ogilvy, Sabri Subi, the greats, the best in the world when it comes to marketing. And I refined my marketing strategy time and time again. And marketing is everything. I think a business that doesn't focus on marketing is crazy, especially in this day and age where you can do it for free. All you need is just this.
Definitely.
This is all you need. This is all you need to get your business out there, to get people to start talking about you, to start knowing about you. Obviously, if you have a professional helping you with building funnels, building campaigns, building branding and all that stuff, great, go for it. It's an investment that you will never regret. But if you don't have, all you need is a phone to just put on a video, post that video, and you never know what the algorithm will do. So marketing is everything. If anyone is listening to this and you're not investing in marketing, you're not serious about your business. You don't want to grow.
I understand the world is changing very, very, very fast with AI, and I think almost on a daily basis there is something new on AI, right? But then you
Yep.
decided to go back to business, which is more traditional. I don't think AI has got anything to do with that business or technology in a way, but tech of course will be involved here and there, but AI won't affect your business, basically, right? So let's talk about that business.
Yeah. So again, if we go back to what I mentioned earlier about Africa and how Africa has so many problems, but at the same time, Africa has so many resources. One of our most precious commodities is gold, right? Just the word gold always invokes a certain feeling in a lot of people because we all know how precious it is. We produce 30% of the world's gold. But if you go and walk the streets of Africa or the places where this gold is mined, you will not see that wealth. You will not see Africa actually benefiting from its own minerals. And the biggest reason for that is corruption, smuggling, just illicit trading of this precious resource. So me being the problem solver, I was like, how do we solve this problem of Africa always being the continent that mines the resources but gets nothing to show for it? And the solution is to build a transparent platform where miners and export partners can go onto the platform, list their products, list their services, what they do, and then buyers from the world can come and buy Africa's commodities on that platform in a legal and transparent way so that we reduce smuggling, so that the governments can collect more tax revenues, and so that the communities where this gold is mined actually benefit. So we have started now Sahara Commodity Exchange, and we wanted to be the center of commodities, Africa's commodities. If anyone around the world wants to buy commodities from Africa in a legal way and they don't want to be scammed, they don't want to lose their money, then they come to us because we vet the suppliers. We go on the ground, we meet the suppliers, we check their documents, then we upload them. And we do the same thing for the buyers as well. We meet them in Dubai, in Saudi, wherever they are. We vet them, and then once these two match, they can do the transaction. And then we also help them with things that will facilitate the transaction, like your trade finance, your logistics, your escrow payment services, and a whole lot more. So it's an ecosystem that will enable African trade to happen in a transparent way so that finally we don't get ripped off in international trade.
So this marketplace is a digital marketplace, but there's also involves the physical part where you meeting the buyers and the sellers.
Correct. Yes. So I mean, it's a tech product, yes, but really a lot of the work is compliance offline because you can have the most shiniest app with the best user interface and all that, but if you don't actually put in the manual compliance work that's needed, then it's not going to work.
Payments, how do the payments work? Do they go through the platform?
Yes. So we have an escrow payment facility where the buyer pays us the money, which proves that they have it. And then as the product is being moved, remember I mentioned to you that I did a supply chain degree.
You said,
now
well, that's where it's coming in.
to you.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Now I understand the supply chain of, of mining and getting it to the as the product is moving across the supply chain, the funds are being released either as a bank transfer or in physical cash, because in some African economies, they actually want the physical hard cash. So in that way, firstly, everyone is vetted. And then secondly, everyone remains protected. If the transaction falls off, we can just give them back their money.
Okay. So sometime, I mean, the gold trading in gold has been talk of the town. I think sometime last year or something of that. I mean, with the gold
Yeah.
mafia and everything. So does this platform kind of make this legal or legalize the process of buying and selling gold?
Yes, it absolutely legalizes it. With regards to the gold mafia, I don't want to comment because documentaries are very biased in nature because it's a documentary,
Yeah.
right? Our plan our plan is to make everything transparent. We want governments to use our platform so that they can know how much of their minerals are moving and where they're going and who's the biggest buyer, who's the biggest seller. We want the governments to be able to know everything. And we want governments to endorse our platform so that illegal smuggling can be curbed. If governments endorse us and say all artisanal mining gold or any small scale mining gold needs to go through Sahara for it to be legal, then that means the smugglers don't have a chance because everyone will know that if it's not on Sahara, then it's not legal.
Okay. I get what you're saying. And I'm assuming that, I mean, you have what stakeholders backing you in this process because, I mean, I think that's a mountain to climb.
Yeah, definitely. The biggest stakeholder is the Holy Spirit himself. He's the biggest
Yeah.
backer of this product. But of course, there is an advisory board. There is a compliance board. There's a team that has had all the experience in mining. There's a team with the right contacts that we need to make things flow. So yeah, it's not an easy project, but like the great Fred Swanica says, we must do hard things because we are so privileged just to be on this call, to be in our homes. We're so privileged. So I think as privileged people, we need to take on these challenges that are seemingly impossible because we've already won. We're already doing well for ourselves.
Mm, I get it. Okay. So since you're in the Edutech and then now I don't know what tech we should call the gold tech, maybe it's a gold tech or whatever it is. I don't know how we're gonna call the gold one, but it's also since you're saying it's also powered by tech. I just want to understand if you see what's happening in the world, right? We have with disruption from AI. What is the impact of AI on both of your businesses, and what have you envisioned as a leader to say, oh, this is possibly going to happen in the next 5 years or 10 years? This is what we're going to do.
Yeah. Oh, what a great question. So AI is growing at paces that we cannot fathom indeed. For the education business, for Melsoft Academy, we love AI. We embrace AI. We use AI everywhere. We encourage our students to use AI. So we are evolving more and more into yes, the basics are critical. We focus a lot on the basics of programming, your fundamentals. You need to know those. And then we also add the AI education aspect as well. We teach our students how to use AI. We've recently partnered with Within Code in partnership with Google to deliver AI courses for developers and for non developers for our students and for people around us. That's all Within Code. That's not in any of my work. So that those claps are for Within Code.
Well, that coming together with ThinkCode and Google, I mean, that's amazing for Melsoft. That's a win as well.
Yeah, so we're embracing that, the education business, to teach AI. We want to roll AI across the older generations, right? Our main vision at Melsoft Academy is to have someone from age 4 for the rest of their lives learning tech on Melsoft. So you can be grade 0 and you start learning tech skills with us until you die, basically. So naturally we will evolve as AI evolves. And then with the commodity exchange, AI is a tool. It's really not an AI product. Obviously, we can integrate things like automated screening of compliance documents and collecting data to make better decisions and that sort of thing. But right now, AI is more of a tool, and it's not really an AI product.
You understand that in a couple of years, there are some jobs that are going to become extinct, right? There's going to be a lot of disruption. So, as a business leader, do you think your business should have a dedicated AI department?
Whew. Looking at the majority of businesses in Africa, they're normally small. Like 90% of African businesses are small, very small, hand to mouth sort of businesses. So I wouldn't advise them to have a dedicated AI department per se. If the budget allows and you're more of a standard bank or an ABSA, then for sure, by all means. But if you're a smaller business, my advice would be to get educated, get clued up as the owner of your business. You need to be studying AI every day. You need to be using these AI tools every single day in everything that you do, because really what's going to happen in the next 5-10 years is that we will have people that really use AI and understand it and people that don't. For example, in the early 2000s, we have people that understand how to use the internet and they put their businesses on the internet and stuff like that, and those that don't. So you really want to be on the more advanced, more educated side of things, and you don't need to do much. The thing about these technologies is you really don't need to do much, but unfortunately people are just not willing to learn. I don't know, how do you think we can push people to adopt these technologies from your point of view?
Okay, so from my point of view, so we recently we're building we're actually developing a new software, which is a human capital management system, right? And whilst we're building this software, we just thought about it like, okay, so who's going to work on AI? How are we going to have AI integrated in our system? Because software development is no longer the normal software development that you had 10 years ago. You can't have a back-end developer, front-end developer, an integrator, or whichever way without having someone who actually understands AI and be able to enhance that software to be competitive in this environment or in this world, and being able to have that software in the next 10 years. Otherwise, you build a software today and you realize that possibly you're going to need to do away with that, whatever that you've built in the next year or so. You understand? So, for the first time, we are introducing an AI department. These are individuals that are just going to concentrate on AI to enhance that software to make it more competitive, basically. So that's how I see it. It needs to be a culture. It can't be. We can't keep on, maybe talking about it. We need to embrace it and becomes culture of our companies for us to exist in the next few years, basically.
Yeah. Well, I love that approach. I think with this approach you're really setting yourselves up for the future. You're future proofing yourself in a way that not many people can. I think I will also take that advice and maybe consider having AI specialists in the team.
There's gonna be a gap, right? Think about it. If you are the head of the company, right? You're running with the sales, you're running, building and getting more clients for the company, right? You understand you might not even get time, like you said, you couldn't get time to do a podcast, right? More so, you won't even get time to maybe do a research on the latest on AI or to enhance how Melsoft is working. But then, if you have a dedicated person who is dedicated, or if the team, because trust me, there's nothing as difficult as continuous learning for people that are used to doing certain things in a certain way. So if a developer is used to just coding in the backend using Node.js, if you tell them now you need to understand AI, they'll take time for them to register in their heads that they need to, make the software AI compliant, or keep up with with what's happening, the trends. You understand what I mean? But then if you have someone who is basically working in the AI department, all they need to do is to research, come up with a new innovation, be woke, and possibly learn what's happening around us, and implement that within the company. That's at least will take away some of our time to be able to go look for more businesses as business leaders.
And how for you? I'm sorry to flip the switch. I know I'm the one being interviewed, but
Yes.
I'm so curious to learn how are you using AI like to grow businesses, to get customers? How are you using it?
So what I've noticed with AI, right? Almost each and every process that we use in marketing. So we have the digital marketing part of our business, right? I want to talk about digital marketing. In the digital marketing, creation of content is all AI powered now, right? It used to take us probably longer to create content for our client, and you needed to have more individuals or more hands to create that content. But right now, if you think about it, how many of those AI platforms that create content for you? They don't have to create content, but the captions, you know, they actually have to just rewrite the captions for you. As long as you can prompt it if you know how to prompt the AI to give you the correct answers, then you're good. You understand? I know some people says, your captions now sound more robotic than more human, but if you prompt it correctly, it will give you a human response. You get it? So, which means we've cut down our time in creation of content. In software development as well, that applies because if as a developer way back, and when you're troubleshooting whatever that you're developing, you used to go to those threads and all those. Just called what was the name of that platform where people always go and ask questions or search if someone has asked this issue there. What's the name of the platform? But I mean, right now you just go to ChatGPT or a cloud, and then you'll be able to just
Stack
troubleshoot that.
Overflow.
Yeah, yeah, there's overflow. Yeah. Stack Overflow. If the to set cloud and Swift and less issues, even though if a developer is to take the code as it is from cloud, you can't just really just use it without checking. You know what I mean? So it has its disadvantages, but it has made our life far much easier. And as I'm talking to you, podcasting used to be very difficult so many years ago. Do you understand? So when you needed to podcast, I needed maybe a team of 5 people or so. One would do the designs, one would do the production, one would do all sorts of things, right? But right now, I'm just using this software. After we're done recording, I'll be able to, I'll just easily edit using AI and get the episode ready.
Okay, all right, it's fine. Yeah, no, I was listening to what you were saying, and I definitely get how you guys are using AI. So yeah, I hope people are listening to you and then actually put it into work or hire you. I hope,
Oh, yeah. Is anyone wants to hire me? I like this. Hire me. I don't know if anyone wants to hire me, but that's an interesting one. But we do add value to our clients, with all the knowledge that we have at the moment. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, do you have any other questions you want to ask me? Because this is the moment where I'm going to ask you, your last words, what you want to say, what you want to talk about. Melsoft, how do we get hold of you? How do we get to be students at Melsoft and all that stuff?
Okay, so I mean, if you want to get a hold of me and Melsoft, all you need to do is just search Melsoft Academy and you will see us everywhere.
Yeah.
Whether it's on Google, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, you name it, just search for us and you'll definitely find us. Yeah, I think the last few words I just want to give is to inspire people to learn, inspire people to learn really, whether you do it through Melsoft or not. Like, Alvin has never attended Melsoft, but he's doing really well in AI because he's learning. You're learning. So I just want people to learn. Africans, we like to consume way too much. We like to work from 9 to 5. If we work from 9 to 5, if we have a job, and then after that, we just want to sit down, watch Netflix. During the weekend, we want to go out, drink, watch the soccer game, the F1, whatever. And that's our lives. And it needs to change because we are being eaten alive by the Europeans, by the Americans, by the Asians. They are eating us alive. We're literally having other nationalities coming into our continents, onto our shores to mine our things and to take them back to their homes because we're just
We're
eyes
consuming.
closed.
We're
We
just
don't know.
consuming.
We just want to consume. Yeah. We
Yeah.
just want to consume. So yeah, I just need Africans to wake up. We need to wake up. There's so much potential. There's so much that we can do if we unite and actually put in the work. So yeah, I hope someone listens to this and is shaken.
You know what, Larreth? I think you have done well for yourself. At the age of 22, starting Melsoft and making it a well-established business, and actually taking your business all the way to Dubai at 29. I mean, man, you are actually onto something. You know what I mean? It's something that is plausible for young Africans to be able to explore the world and be able to conquer in as much as we can. You know what I mean? I mean, 10 years later, you look back and you realize how much you've done for yourself, you know? So let it be this a motivation to young people that, their ideas are they're not bad ideas, basically. All you need to do is to start, and learn. The internet is free. The internet is free. I tell our employees to say, look, we need intelligent people around us. If you find yourself not intelligent enough and I'm more intelligent than you, then there's something wrong. Yes, I can be intelligent than you, but at least I need people that are challenging me, with ideas. You know what I mean? And you know what? I would like to say congratulations to you, and I wish you the best with Melsoft and of course Sahara, which is the gold platform, which is one for the books. So yeah, thank you very much for coming to Tech Mark Pod. Yeah. Thank you, Larreth.
Thank you so much for having me. I wish you all the best in your podcast. I'm sure it's gonna be big. It's already big, and I'm sure it's gonna just get more and more bigger.
Definitely consistent, I guess. We need to be consistent with it. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching this episode. This was a very educative episode with Larreth, and I would actually encourage young people to join Melsoft. You need to follow Larreth on LinkedIn. You're on LinkedIn, right? So they need to follow you on LinkedIn. It's Larreth Jimu, and Melsoft as well is on LinkedIn, and you need to learn more. So yeah, don't forget to subscribe, share this episode, comment, engage with us, and see you on the next episode.